Bangladesh, a country of over 170 million people. The proposed humanitarian corridor in Rakhine has created a new geopolitical tension amidst political differences. The proposal to use the corridor to send relief to Myanmar under the supervision of the United Nations and various international organizations has come to Bangladesh. The question has arisen: is this just humanitarian aid, or is there a bigger strategy behind it? Security analyst Ishfaq Elahi Chowdhury told Daily Sun that the joint consent and participation of Bangladesh, the Myanmar government, the Arakan army, and the United Nations is required to implement the humanitarian corridor in Rakhine. If any of these parties do not agree, Bangladesh may have to withdraw from the plan. He stressed the importance of transparency in the negotiations and political consensus, especially in making long-term decisions for an interim government, considering consultation with future political forces important. The government says that no final decision has been made yet, but the Foreign Affairs advisor said that, in principle, it has been given. Former diplomat Humayun Kabir believes that the food crisis and humanitarian disaster caused by the conflict in Rakhine have forced the United Nations to propose a humanitarian corridor. He fears that if the situation worsens, about 600,000 new Rohingya and Myanmar citizens may seek refuge in Bangladesh. However, he warns that this corridor can be misused by border terrorists and insurgents. Therefore, preventing Rohingya infiltration and ensuring repatriation will be Bangladesh's top priority. On the one hand, pressure from the United States and the United Nations, and on the other hand, the interests of China and India are also involved in Rakhine. It is said that when two elephants fight, the grass is the most damaged. And is Bangladesh going to be the grass in the war of two elephants? Former professor of the Department of International Relations at Dhaka University, Imtiaz Ahmed, questioned the purpose of the humanitarian corridor proposal. He believes that it is still unclear who made the proposal and why, so Bangladesh must first clarify the cost-benefit analysis. If there is no guarantee of Rohingya repatriation, there is no logic in accepting the corridor. He also said that it is important to determine in advance who will provide security and aid to the corridor, otherwise it will be at risk of misuse by the rebels. Meanwhile, various political parties, such as the BNP and Jamaat-e-Islami, have questioned the decision-making process of the interim government regarding the corridor. Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman has also expressed concern about the corridor. He wrote on his verified Facebook account, "The issue of humanitarian corridor with Rakhine is unclear. This issue needs to be made clear to the nation because it could threaten the country's security." BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said, "We don't want to be Gaza. We don't want to be part of the war. National unity is needed on the corridor."
আমরা একটা যুদ্ধের মধ্যে জড়াতে চাই না। আমাদের এখানে এসে আরো কেউ গোলমাল করুক সেটাও আমরা চাই না।
On Tuesday, the press secretary of the chief advisor, Shafiqul Alam, clarified the government's position and said, "We want to make it clear that the government has not had any formal discussions with the United Nations or any other organization on the so-called humanitarian corridor." However, earlier on Sunday, Foreign Affairs advisor Tauhid Hussain said that the government has agreed in principle to the corridor system, subject to some conditions. It is known that the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, first raised this proposal in November 2024. According to them, famine may occur due to the ongoing conflict between the Myanmar army and the Arakan army, and it was in that context that the proposal for the humanitarian corridor came. This issue gained more importance during the visit of the UN Secretary-General to Bangladesh in March this year. The Rohingya crisis is still unresolved. In the midst of it, Bangladesh is facing a new corridor crisis. The only question is, where will we go if we walk along the corridor? The reality of the humanitarian corridor, diplomatic pressure, and security issues What decision Bangladesh will take in this three-pronged challenge could now determine the future of national security and politics.
For more updates, follow us on Facebook, subscribe our YouTube channel, get the latest update on www.daily-sun.com.